Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Greyshot Productions review of Godzilla Monster Planet. Featuring...
I mean, this was not just done 5 seconds after the last review.
No,
not
totally
at all.
Not. Professionalism here at Greyshot
Yep.
Productions. I am Greyshot151. That is Greyshot117, and we are diving into Godzilla Monster Planet, which is
A Netflix film that is the first part of 3 parts that we honestly thought we should do a series on, but no, they're labeling it as movies, so guess what? It's being labeled as a movie.
So these were supposed to be made as a series. Toho gave them a little extra money, or maybe just said, no, we're making them into movies now, and they were like, what? And now they're movies.
And here's my problem with that. Animation-wise, it can look good. It's a 3D animated film. So from Japan, that's kind of like a big red flag.
Essentially, you're pretty much getting animation like
only like
Pixar Toy Story is still better than
the 3D animation in Japan is mainly used as secondary asset or like secondary to the primary to 2D animation.
Think of it like usually like a mech show, like when you have a massive thing or like a giant planet or something that's like in the background.
Full Metal Alchemist, not Pride. Envy's largest form was usually
CGI.
3D. Usually,
unless they had like a certain shot.
Unless they can get them closed in, then they would do 2D and it looked better. But here's the thing about this. The 3D animation can look great. Like the sequence in the beginning was very intense, and it like the scene on the planet, kind of them go like that. And just being specific, we're going to spoilers. Or Godzilla himself can look
I will say Godzilla there is multiple shots of Godzilla. The final shot of Godzilla, he looks really nice.
Yes.
And especially imposing. The main problem though with this film is excluding the lead, who's somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
And excluding a great opening involving like the background of all these monsters.
By the way, if it would have gone at that pace the entire time, I would have liked this film. But it slows to a fucking crawl after the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, are you serious right now?
It does. Excluding those moments, it really starts to meander a bit.
Yeah.
And
also, while the lead character is interesting,
no one else is.
They're all generic anime stereotypes. I even thought
religious figure, military figure.
I think that the one love interest may be a sister, which for Japan wouldn't be that far of a
It
stretch.
wouldn't surprise us.
Yes.
But no, yeah, the guys that do the dubs do an admirable job. There's no bad performance. The sequences involving the action are good. Yeah, adequate. They're not great. The CGI really is pushed to its limits in certain shots.
Yeah.
You can tell there's reused scenes. It's not great.
Some of this movie does not look good.
It does not. Godzilla's first form,
after watching
especially does not look good.
After watching Inuyashiki or Land of the Lustrous, Inuyashiki.
Do not discuss Inuyashiki. Stop using that as a reference. Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Have you watched the whole thing?
No, I just literally looked at the fight scenes and Jesus Christ.
No, you have to watch the first 2 episodes and then you can talk to me about it. But yes, the fight, that's what I mean. Like Inuyashiki has bad 3D animation. But goddamn, if we're going bad animation and comparing it to the Godzilla movie, it's not that far off. And then I look at Land of the Lustrous, has gorgeous animation, and that's a TV show. And this does not have.
No. This movie, I will say, does have some nice shots. It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. That was the one thing I will say. They make it a little bit smoother, so it works.
This movie didn't hurt me like I thought it would.
No, but I will say the music is pretty good, though. The music's
fine.
The music reminded me of a classic Godzilla movie, which is more than I can say for Shin.
I like Shin. You don't. I know.
I guess I don't like Shin. But here's my thing. Shin is a movie... is very much like the original Godzilla. It's like, okay, I watched it. I'm never gonna watch it again. It's like I get the point. This movie I might actually watch again because I actually like the music. It felt like a classic Godzilla movie in that sense. Is it a good Godzilla movie? No. Is it still better than a lot of Godzilla movies? Yes, I'd watch this over Godzilla's Revenge in a heartbeat. But actually, no. I might probably would watch Godzilla's Revenge. Just because
damn it!
Just because of that Home Alone sequence. I always enjoyed that. Definitely Godzilla versus Gigan. That I can definitely say. But, excluding the opening and the final shot of Godzilla, the first form of Godzilla, which is used, is really bad. He looks like sad. He looks like a sad bear.
Yeah, he has a snout like a bear, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, which could work.
I'm like, oh my god, he looks depressed.
His eyes look so sad too. It's not flattering. It's not flattering at all. And when I imagine a 2D Godzilla movie, I thought this was
it has such
like
an
Your
interesting
Name.
Premise.
I was like, yes.
It's such an interesting premise because this is 20,000 years after humanity left Earth because Godzilla and all the other monsters wrecked it, and then they come back and they
plain. There's
Yeah.
nothing interesting about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And I like how they're like, it's like they welcome Earth, and it's like Earth remembered us. It's like, and one of the first
Yeah, and then
shots,
said, "Fuck
one
off."
of the first shots of this film is humanity firing 150 some nukes at Godzilla. Which, by the way, I love it, but I'll get to why something about it. But like destroying a large part of the Earth, and like, yeah, I'm sure Earth really likes you.
Earth missed us so much.
Yeah. It's like, fucking hell, get these guys off me. I'll take Godzilla.
But yeah, there's also another note where they're like, we could build a lunar colony. I'm like, totally do that.
Do the lunar colony.
So much safer until
That's
King
why I'm
Ghidorah
like,
shows up.
I never get movies where I'm like Zod on Superman, where it's like, we must create new Krypton on Earth. Like,
Go to Mars.
Go to Mars. It's like, it's right next door.
Do everything
And then you
want.
can subjugate humanity. You're still within Yellow Song. There you
could
go.
fly there in like 5 seconds.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, this movie is I'd say it's adequate. It's enjoyable for me. It's another glass half full kind of movie.
Yeah.
And again, if I had a choice between Shin Godzilla and this movie, I'd watch this movie in a heartbeat because Shin.
I'll
when I look
disagree
at
with
Shin,
you.
I don't see the classic Godzilla charm. This I do. This I kind of see that classic Godzilla destroyer, force of nature kind of film.
I sharply disagree. I heavily disagree. Shin Godzilla is way better than this film. I'm not
saying
it's
better.
The political the political side of this film. I like Godzilla himself, especially the fucking bridge sequence, the night sequence, all that stuff. Even the final sequence where they're trying to stop Godzilla with the trains. All Shin Godzilla are awesome.
That's Shin. But here's my note.
I can't stand those like motorbike things going around in circles. I kept expecting Godzilla to use his tail to just whack them all and kill them all, and that's what I hoped. Because when I'm rooting for Godzilla to murder people, there's something wrong, and not, but there's something wrong.
Yeah, again, but this felt more like to me like a classic Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
By a little
this
bit
movie
than
does
Shin.
not end.
Shin is a far better movie.
This movie,
but it's not my preference.
This movie does not have a proper conclusion.
Yeah, that's true.
There's 2 more parts, so this is part 1, and on that part we have to judge it as a part 1 of the film. So as a lone sequel, what would you give this?
5 out of 10.
I will fine on you. I give 5 out of 10. Honestly, I would personally give it a 4, but I will probably give it a 5 because my brother really loves Toho.
It's adequate. The music is good.
It knows more about
the main character is actually decently interesting, and the final shots of Godzilla will leave you with a better taste. Again, this leaves me with
overall,
a good taste in my
my
mouth.
big thing is the overall animation is not good, and that's my problem with animated.
And you
movie.
dare say Inuyashiki is better?
No, I'll say Land of the Lustrous is better.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I literally watched Inuyashiki, and it looks
you watched the
atrocious.
fight sequences.
That's the only parts that's 3D. It's like, guys, listen, the action in this movie. And I'm comparing the only action. Oh, no, shut up. I'm comparing the action of one movie to the action of another. But you didn't watch the whole movie, Greyshot. I'm only comparing the action.
But, like, the cinematography in Inuyashiki is way better than this and stuff like that. Like, and it has more emotional meaning because you actually care about the leads. I couldn't give a shit about this guy after, like, okay, your grandfather died. We're just going to ignore that. Like, again, and also spoilers, humanity fires 150 nukes at Godzilla. But here's the thing, you would figure they all fire at the same place. No, they say at the same time, yet you look at America, and a third of America has nuclear craters. And I'm like,
let's be honest.
That one nuclear crater isn't going to touch that nuclear crater.
Let's be honest now. It probably wasn't the United States that nuked it. So A, and
Russia's like, fuck it.
and B, they probably just soaked the entire area in heat. They were like, Godzilla can't escape. He's just gonna boom. I mean, obviously,
logic. Throw it out the window. Next, we're gonna drop a nuclear bomb on a hurricane, and that'll fix it.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Anyway, the point of the matter is also it's like Godzilla has his shield. Also, I love when they're evacuating the planet and they're like going
Godzilla just shows up.
Godzilla just shows up. Who's watching him? He's a 150-foot monster and eventually turns into 1,000-foot. But he's a 150-foot giant monster. How do we not have a satellite tracking this thing? It's giving off probably enough heat and radiation to be like a goddamn glowing red ball on the planet.
I mean, let's be honest. Would they tell the populace? I think not.
No. Jesus.
But no, yeah. Again, this movie is, again, I give the American Legendary Studios this. They're making far better Godzilla movies than the Japanese are at the moment.
No, Shin Godzilla, I would say, is better and...
You would say it's better than the 2014 Godzilla?
I would say some parts of Shin Godzilla look better than that film.
You can... No.
Yes.
No.
Shin Godzilla looks menacing. That Godzilla, while it's fully CG, sometimes I don't believe it's there. It's not as realistic as War for the Planet of the Apes or something.
Shin Godzilla is all CG as well.
but
Mostly,
but they have more kind of. It looked a lot realer to me. It looked like he's physically there, and I also liked his.
I just didn't like the design.
Also, the shots of like Tokyo, like the entire city on fire and stuff like that, looked gorgeous and stuff like that. So I'll give Toho credit. They know they can pull off some good CGI. But yeah, I will agree. The Godzilla films overall have been better in Legendary, and so far I'm more excited for Godzilla 2 over this part 2. But in any case, guys, that's going to be it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content on Greyshot Productions. Tune in for our top TV shows coming up and a review of Paddington 2 and The Maze Runner. The Death Cure.
No one would ever guess those movies.
Yeah, well, you know, I have a lot to catch up on. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Before this video ends, I want to give a special shout out to my Patreon supporters like Ace, Leo, Tim, Sean, Sejones, and Nick. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support, and I'll see you next time, guys.